sensitive ass that just came out of this little, I don't know where they come from, but niggas be getting wild emotional. Niggas be turning into big super police. Just be trying to have.
Ever try to phone me? Hit you with no delay. So what you saying, yo? Silly with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo? Yeah, I do hit better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes, yo.
Busta Rhymes is absolutely fuming right now. And word on the street is that he's out here threatening 50 Cent over some wild footage that's allegedly about to drop in 50's upcoming documentary about Diddy. We already know 50's been stacking receipts on Diddy and his private party lifestyle for years. But what's got Busta so worked up? Sources are saying this time there's actual video evidence showing Busta right in the middle of all that madness with Diddy, and that's just the surface of the drama. A few months back, Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, came out and dropped some serious claims. He said Busta had been into fun boys for years, and that the club scene always knew the vibe. According to Big Homie, certain promoters would go out of their way to line up young men just to keep Busta entertained in VIP every time he showed up. Now it's looking like 50 Cent might be holding the kind of receipts that could shake everything up. Insiders close to the situation are saying there's footage from one of those infamous parties showing Busta and Diddy caught up in a full-blown freak-off with multiple men around them, believed to be entertainers Diddy personally hired for the night. If that clip drops, this could blow the lid off everything and expose way more than anyone expected. But wait, it gets even messier. Now multiple men are stepping forward, claiming Busta allegedly made inappropriate moves on them. These dudes are saying that every time they ran into Busta, he was always trying to pull them into some wild party scene, Diddy style, constant invites, weird energy. And now it's painting a whole new picture of what's been going on behind closed doors. At this rate, it's starting to look like Busta might be next in line for a major takedown. And with 50 Cent producing this Netflix documentary, all of Busta's threats? They probably won't mean a thing. If anything, he might have just guaranteed himself a bigger feature in 50's film. Just not the kind he wanted. So now everybody's asking, why is Busta panicking like this out of nowhere? What kind of dirt does 50 really have that's making him unravel like this? What's got him acting out and throwing threats around like that? And let's be real. With all this heat and accusations swirling around Busta, you already know 50 wasn't going to just sit back. Right before hitting the stage with Busta at the Humor and Harmony Comedy Fest, 50 was already joking that Busta might show up in something outrageous, like he was expecting drama to go down right there. Remember that infamous yellow fit Busta rocked at the 1999 MTV VMAs? Yeah, that one. Well, 50 Cent didn't miss a beat. He posted that exact photo, clowning Busta, and said, "Busta cannot wear this to Humor and Harmony. Busta, I don't care who made the outfit. You gotta come with some fly-ish to Shreveport. LOL." Of course, Busta wasn't gonna let that slide. He fired back with an AI-generated pic of 50 looking wild and captioned it, "I keep telling you the blessings don't stop, so we ain't never gonna stop. I thought it was Father's Day, 50 Cent, and you out here looking like this. Don't let me find out this how you be in the mirror getting ready for Shreveport." Back then, it seemed like harmless trolling between two legends. But now? Sources are saying 50 was actually dead serious behind the scenes. And he might really have some next-level footage linking Busta to one of Diddy's wild parties. But before we get to that bombshell, we gotta rewind to those messy allegations about what's been going down in Busta's VIP section. If you missed it, Busta's ex-bodyguard Big Homie CC just sat down with the Art of Dialogue and went all the way in. He flat out called Busta a super zest monster, saying Busta's been moving real suspect around young men for years. According to Big Homie, it's been one of those unspoken industry secrets, especially among club promoters. Allegedly, anytime Busta got booked, promoters already knew what was up. They had to make sure the VIP section was packed with the kind of entertainment Busta was expecting. He wouldn't let that man leave. Big Homie said Busta was glued to him the whole night, like he made it his mission to keep the guy right by his side. And, apparently, this wasn't just some random moment. According to Big Homie, This was standard behavior. Promoters already knew the routine. Whenever Busta pulled up, they had to gather the sharpest-looking men for his section. 'Cause once Busta locked eyes on someone, that was it. It was a done deal. Big Homie even claimed Busta kept calling the man cute all night, making sure he felt special, but not too free. Once that man was inside VIP, he wasn't going anywhere. Not unless Busta said so. Now here's where it takes an even crazier turn. Big Homie said folks in the industry been aware of Busta's alleged preferences for over a decade. When asked why no one ever put it out there, Big Homie broke it down real simple. Everybody wants access to that VIP with Busta. People were choosing clout over calling stuff out. But then he dropped something way deeper and darker. He brought up Busta's alleged history of putting hands on women and hinted there might be a bigger reason behind it. According to Big Homie, like many down-low men, Busta could be carrying resentment toward women, projecting his own internal battles outward. And for those thinking this is just one ex-bodyguard chasing headlines, think again. A lineup of men has already come forward with their own wild stories. Back in 2020, social media personality Trip. Ali jumped on YouTube claiming Busta tried to pick him up in NYC, right on the street, while Trip was just heading to a Halloween party. Trip said Busta personally invited him to the VIP, and at first, he thought it was just your typical club night, nothing out of the ordinary. But little did he know, things were about to get way more intense than expected. Everything flipped when Trip got into a heated back and forth with his friend, who wasn't feeling the idea of sliding to Busta's party. What started as a disagreement spiraled into a full-on fight in the middle of the city. Trip was so thrown off, he ended up scrapping the whole club plan, and to make it worse, his friend dipped on him, leaving him stranded in NYC with no ride, no crew, nothing. But honestly, that might have been a blessing in disguise. 'Cause with all the stories now floating around, who knows what kind of scene he would have walked into if he had made it to Busta's VIP section that night. Now, fast forward to 2021, and the rumors came rushing right back. Word on the street was that Busta was back out here, allegedly trying to pick up men again. And just when things couldn't get any messier, paparazzi supposedly caught him leaving a gay pride event with a trans woman riding shotgun. But it didn't stop there. Things got even crazier when Orlando Brown jumped back into the spotlight, sending the internet into meltdown mode. He started naming names, saying he had been intimate with multiple men in the industry. Not just Diddy, but Busta too, and a whole alleged lineup of others. Made love with? That's what had people doing double takes. Now, we all know Orlando has a wild rep, and not everybody takes him seriously when he starts unloading like this. But let's be real, his name-dropping always sends the blogs into overdrive. But if you really pay attention to some of Orlando Brown's more recent interviews, where he's coming off way more clear-headed, you might start to realize he's actually making a lot of sense. Now, the idea of Busta possibly being on the DL is already enough to raise eyebrows. But here's what really needs to be talked about. Just like Diddy, Busta's got a shady track record of putting his hands on people over the pettiest stuff. His legal run-ins go all the way back to 2006, when prosecutors came for him with a weapons charge after some random altercation. And get this. According to Billboard, Busta allegedly had a whole machete stashed in his car. Who rolls around with that in the trunk? Then, in 2007, he was back in the headlines again, this time getting hit with a misdemeanor after allegedly roughing up his ex-driver over money issues. He eventually pleaded guilty to both charges and landed 3 years of probation. But the drama didn't end there. In 2009, the New York Post spilled even more tea. Busta had to cough up $75,000 to a fan who claimed he was attacked at one of Busta's shows. The fan said all he did was try to dip early after realizing Fabulous wasn't performing, and that's when things went left. According to the fan, Busta allegedly lost it, shouting, "Get down! I'm not good enough for you!" Before hurling not one, but 2 more water bottles at him and having his bodyguard punch the man in the face. With that kind of temper, it's really no shock that Busta's been tight with Diddy since way back in the 90s. But beyond the anger issues, word is these two might have something else in common. An alleged appetite for much younger men. Busta's whole stance on this Diddy mess? It's looking real suspicious right now. See, when the first wave of allegations against Diddy started bubbling up, Busta was quick to jump out and tell fans to hold off on judging. Like, why even say that, unless you're trying to low-key defend someone? And we're not talking about some simple drama. This is serious stuff. DVSA claims multiple alleged victims, some reportedly underage, and Busta's response was basically, mind your business? Yeah, that doesn't sit right. At all.
Fast forward to now. The Diddy scandal has blown up completely. We're talking federal raids, lawsuits stacking up, and now an official indictment. And suddenly, Busta's out here acting like he don't even know Diddy? Like they were never close? Please.
He's dodging questions, playing clueless. But let's be honest. He can't keep that act going for much longer. Word in the streets is that 50 Cent's upcoming Diddy documentary is about to drop names, and yes, Busta Rhymes is allegedly one of them. And if there's one thing everybody knows about 50, it's that he never forgets. He's one of the few rappers who straight up refused to party with Diddy. He saw through that smoke way early and kept his distance from all that shady after-hours action. But just because 50 wasn't at the party doesn't mean he wasn't peeping everything from the sidelines. He's always moved smart, watching who was saying yes to those exclusive invites, and mentally clocking it all. The street's been buzzing for years about certain rappers who allegedly got down with Diddy behind closed doors, and according to insiders, Busta Rhymes' name is definitely on that list. Now, there's still no official release date for 50 Cent's Bombshell documentary. But here's what we do know. It's being produced by G-Unit Film and Television Inc., and it's locked in for Netflix. And with Emmy-winning filmmaker Alex Stapleton directing, you already know this one's about to be top tier, no fluff, no filters, just raw storytelling. But here's the twist. Busta already knows what's coming. Word is he's been moving behind the scenes, trying to pull strings, even sending out warnings for 50 to keep his name out the dock. But let's be real, that's not gonna work. If you've ever paid attention to how 50 Cent moves, then you already know. Telling him to back off only makes him go harder. He lives to prove a point. So if Busta's name is in the mix, best believe 50 ain't cutting him out now. So here's the real question. What's got Busta sweating? If there's nothing to hide, why not just brush it off and stay cool? The pressure's building, and it's got everybody watching real close now. Do you think Busta's really tied up in Diddy's mess? Or is his name just getting dragged through because of who he used to hang with? And most importantly, is 50's documentary about to shake this entire industry to its core? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. And if you're into this kind of deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your crew. Don't sleep on what's coming next. Hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. Catch you in the next one!